Well, we're on a bit of an adventure today, as it's the bank holiday weekend. It's Good Friday, and we are in Andy's new Belingo, Citron Belingo.
New old Belingo.
New old Belingo, yes. So it's going to be our first camping trip out on it, and we are heading to the Galloway Forest. So we've packed the van right up to the rafters with food and a big double mattress and all our walking gear. And the plan is to just take it easy today. We're going to head to Newton Stewart, as that'll be the last chance we're going to get things that we need, as we've actually forgotten something to cook with.
We need a frying pan.
We've got these tiny little camping saucepans, if you know what I mean.
Them army surplus pans.
But we really do need
square pans that go inside each
a
other.
big like cooking pan. So yeah.
Well, Tracy does. I don't.
I do. Yeah, if it was up to Andy, he would actually just eat Scotch eggs.
I wouldn't bring food to cook. I'm not into cooking. When I'm car camping, I just rough it.
He would just eat Scotch eggs, pot noodles, and that's it.
You've got to cook pot noodles, they're no good.
But you
Scotch
just put
eggs.
water in. So I'm the one that does the cooking. It's not how I would normally cook. I've actually been and got canned food. So we've got some chili con carne in a can. We've got some curry chicken in a can, and we've even got English breakfast in a can.
Sounds good to me. And we've got gas.
And we've got lots of gas. So, yeah. So, Butchie Boy, if you're watching this, you said you were looking forward to what we're going to cook up in the van. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'm sure it will taste okay, and we're not going to poison ourselves. I'm not sure about this, like breakfast in a can, to be honest. I really am not. I've already checked out the area, and there's a beautiful spot for 6 vehicles in a proper kind of lovely wooded area next to a stream. So I hope you join us on our wee Scottish adventure and our camping trip.
This is all I need for my car camping. This is my personal belongings. The rest of the car's full.
Adolph's hairbrush.
Yeah, no, this is for my beard. This is my beard brush. The rest of the car's completely full up with Tracy's gear. I can put this just in my little storage box. Toothpaste and a toothbrush, look.
Very good. This is a spot that we're checking out, just wrecking for another time, and it's by Craiglee Loch, which is just up ahead, and we've got a lovely spot where you can wild camp by the riverbank. You've got the range of the Orford Hands in the background there. You literally access it just up this about 50 yards on from the main road over this bridge. What a spot, eh? But we're not going to stop here this time. We're going to carry on to our planned destination. arrived at our camp spot. Oh, it is perfect. We're literally 20 yards from this burn. There's about 6 or 7 private little places that you can park up. Perfect. That's how close we are to this burn. We're right tucked in under the trees. But he won't get out the car.
I want my wheel on that. Hold on.
As you can see, there's a tent there. You've got another van there. You've got spots all around here. And it's just before you get to a place called Tairlaw. And it's on the road heading along to Straiton. As I say, I came here when I was staying in a shepherd's hut round by town of Dalry, is it? Something like that. There was a shepherd's hut there, and I was on my own with Billy. I was here for 3 days, and I was driving up to Cornish Loch to do the walk at Stinchar Bridge, which is 5 minutes from here. And I saw this spot. I was like, this is the spot to camp. It's about a good 35 minutes from Newton Stewart. So you can get your supplies from Newton Stewart, or even probably going to be a few shops at Straiton. But it's such a beautiful spot. Yes, I'm really pleased that we got it. We got a spot. So this will do for the night. Are you warm enough?
It's lovely and warm in here.
So you've got Billy in the front of the car, that's his bed for the night. And we've got these screens for, especially made for Berlingo cars. So they fit perfect.
Look at that, fits perfect. Goes into that little gap there.
And they've got suckers, so this just sucks onto the window.
Perfect. There you go. Hang on.
Yeah.
Good that.
You can't see in. So that's where we're gonna cook for the night. And we've finally got the bed made up. It's a bit of work in progress, isn't it? We've got a super comfy memory foam mattress, really thick, and it folds up into 3 layers, so you can actually use it as a seat when it's folded up. And then you just literally unfold it and it becomes a double mattress. Loads of room. We've tried it out, masses of room. And I'll show you Billy's bed.
Billy's little accommodation, so he's not squashing us up. Perfect. Plenty of room in there for him, and he's nice and
There's Billy's bed.
Yeah.
Andy has fashioned an awning, as we haven't got a proper awning yet, but you can get proper awnings for Berlingo's, but we haven't got round to getting that. So as it's raining, we need to shelter our gear whilst we're sorting the back out. So it's not done a bad job, I guess.
What do you mean you guess? There's not wrong with that. Keeping things dry.
It is keeping things dry. So I'm just modelling how much room we've got in the back. So I'm fully stretched out here. Really comfy. And you can sit up if you want to sit in the back and watch a video, which you've downloaded onto a tablet. Cool.
Plenty of head height.
Plenty of head height. Are you having a bit of lemon now then? we can't find your rhubarb.
Oh yeah, I was decided to have a bit of lemon.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Cheers. Let's move the gas canister, shall we?
Should we just stay here for 2 nights? Now it's settled. Not go anywhere, just go for a walk from here. Chuck everything in the back of there tomorrow.
You're having a bit of lemon, yeah?
Yeah.
It's got them silly little attached lids, isn't it?
Stupid them. Where's my lime?
Oh, do you want some lime?
Mm. There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
I'm on the healthy option, diet tonic water.
I have to hold mine for a little bit because it's on time lapse. Now what we're going to do?
Drink and chill.
Chill.
Here's
Cheers.
to camping. Cheers to the first night camping in your van.
Tracy's going to buy me a proper awning.
Yeah.
Just if you've been laughing at my makeshift one.
I was laughing a little bit at it, thinking everyone around is going to think, what on earth is that?
Keeping my fridge dry. They haven't got a fridge.
Is that an awning for a dwarf?
Yeah, dwarf.
For a dwarf. That's nice. Have we got enough gin?
Oh Christ, yeah.
This is the life, isn't it? There's something about, I was saying to Andy, rain when you're in a forest, it's just so peaceful. When you've got the gin and tonic in your hand and you're about to cook a nice dinner, we're going to get the little stove
You
out,
won't be
aren't
saying
we?
that later when it's like a drum on the roof.
Oh, that's true. The rain on the metal roof of the van.
On the what?
On the metal roof of the van. Yeah, we're going to get the stove out, aren't we, later?
Yeah.
And we're probably going to cook on it. So we'll show you that. It's a really handy little stove just to cook on with our new cooking pot.
Yeah.
That was rather expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah. £50.
Yeah. £54 for a cooking pot, I know. But it would be ideal, perfect for the fire and for future camping trips. And I bought it as a present for Andy as his
Isn't that nice?
welcome to van life.
Yeah. Well, back to van life. We have done quite a lot of camping in the car, haven't we? In the old Peugeot, but it was getting hard work because the car was so unreliable and it was costing a lot to run.
When you've got 2 of you as well and a dog, there's not a lot of room in a car.
That's why we needed to get Billy in the front rather than in the back. He's too big to be in the back with us. Unless we had a big camper van.
But it only took us about an hour.
Needs are must, you know. Can't afford a big camper van, so
We can't.
We've got.
We can't, no. And to be honest, I was looking at my sister's camper van. They've got a transporter. And yeah, they've got like cupboards all built in and things like that. But the actual living space and the seats, there's no much more room than
what
this.
matters more than anything is having a bed. A full-size bed.
A full-size bed,
And
so
then
you can stretch out.
You don't need anything else. You don't need cupboards. You just chuck everything underneath or chuck it around the van or wherever you want
The
to put
whole
it.
point of wildlife camping is being out in nature. So you don't want to
Nature.
be nature. So you don't want to be shut up in your camper van. It's about being outside, under the trees, listening to the birds,
rain.
listening to the burn bubbling away down there. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm getting all poetical
What we're
now,
going to do
aren't
now?
I?
Now what we're going to
What
do?
we're going to do now? What we're going to drink? Finish our drink. I might have another one. And then we'll start getting all the cooking utensils out and ready to... You can get the stove going.
Yeah.
Get the stove going. It'll provide a little bit of warmth as well as cooking. So yeah, I really hope you're enjoying this. It's completely different to what we've been doing, because obviously we just do vlogs on walking trails around the Lake District, but we want to diversify a little bit because it's not just what we're all about. we like travelling all over the place, not just the Lake District. Scotland, you want to try a bit of Yorkshire, maybe go down into the Peak District, definitely Wales. There's some lovely beaches you want to check out in Wales and some mountains in Wales. You have done Wales before. You've done a few of the mountains in the Ogwen Valley, haven't you? And we want to just broaden the horizons a little bit, and I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in. But now we've got like this van, we can do a bit more of that. So yeah, watch this space.
I'm going to show you how I like the little stove anyhow. A little bit of newspaper, a couple of fire lighters. Thing. It'll smoke a bit at first. Once it gets going, you get very little smoke from it.
So this is our culinary delight that we're cooking tonight. Chili con carne in a can. This is not how I would normally cook. I would normally have all fresh ingredients, and if I was on my own, maybe I would do that, but this is just for ease. So we've got a couple of cans of chili con carne, we've got packet rice, try not to show the brand, packet rice. We're just going to chuck it all in a pot, all together. And we've got some garlic naan breads. So it should be a good scran. So this is the very expensive pot. It is heavy duty. It's non-stick. It's got a really good base. Perfect for the fire.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
So it's quite light for carrying.
And it's a really good size, so it'll come in very handy.
So this is our supper. Chili con carne.
We're just mixing it all together.
As you can see, we go for quantity rather than quality. It's looking good, about perfect for cooking on. As you can see, the fire has holes in the bottom and holes in the top. It's double skin stainless steel. That's not, well, yeah, it is a little bit hot. Sucks the air in through the bottom and then draws it back out at the top.
That looks quite edible actually. Ooh. That looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad for a can, is it?
Alright, yeah. Should have bought a frying pan for the naan that then.
We just need to get a grill.
Another 50 quid.
No, we just need a little grill.
A
makeshift grill. Put it over the top and that's it. Got a nice smoky taste.
It's nice.
Char grill taste they call it, don't they?
What, the naan bread? Yeah.
See what happens. Natural fire starter. Pine cones.
Are they?
They are, yeah.
They should burn then.
They're classed as firelighters. We have tried them, but they're not very good as firelighters. I think birch bark's better. We don't have any birch trees around here though, do we?
Yeah, no. Not in a pine forest.
Not in the pine coniferous forest.
Good idea.
Morning. What a good night's sleep I had. I think Billy woke me up a couple of times. He was out. I think Billy woke us up a couple of times, panting away in the front. So we let him out, had a wee. But it was really warm. So really comfortable night's sleep. And now we're going to get a brew on. Nice. We're kind of learning. It's got to be, you've got to have a really good routine, especially when there's two of you. Because if one person puts something somewhere that you haven't realised they put it somewhere, and then they forget where they've put it, it can get a bit stressful in the morning, as you can't find anything. So it's just learning, like, who does what and where you put things. But yeah, we have just having a coffee. I'm going to make some breakfast in a bit. Breakfast in a can. See what that's like. And then we're going to head to Loch Doon and do this lovely wee walk from the castle. It's supposed to improve the weather today. It's a bit overcast right now, but it is supposed to improve and get a bit sunny, some sunny spells. But hopefully it'll be clear on the tops and you'll get a lovely view over to Loch Finlas from Craiglee and over Loch Doon. It's a stunning area. This is hot. Always make a mess with noodles.
What?
How fiery are they?
Hot.
Like how hot? You're not supposed to do advertising, you know.
No, I don't think somebody in China is going to sue you, wherever they come from.
Leave no trace. So we're finally ready to leave after about 2 hours. I just want to show you, we've left no trace, apart from other people have had a little bit of a fire, but we didn't do that. We used that stone there, which was just literally by the riverbank anyway, where they had a fire pit. So we might come back here tonight, so we left it there, just so other people can use that. Down Wellington because you want to get some water, and I just thought I'd show you. They've got a bit of a lorry park here, so they've got showers and they've got 24/7 laundrette. So if you're camping for a few days, that's quite cool, isn't it? Loch Doon Castle was built in the early 14th century and was actually initially on the larger island in the loch. But when the water level was to be raised for a hydroelectric scheme, the castle was dismantled and re-erected at this current site. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
It's now about 12:30, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've just arrived at the parking spot at Loch Doon Castle.
Early start.
At Loch Doon Castle, and we're going to do the Craiglee Trail up to the wee hill of Craigmulloch with great views of Loch Doon, and then up to Craiglee where you get lovely views of Loch Finlas. But a 5-mile trail, and then it heads back through some lovely forestry views of Loch Doon. So really nice. You can just see behind the castle in the middle of the loch there, a little island. That's where it used to be. Now relocated on the shores.
I'll try and do it without you, that's a bit of what messing.
Looking back over Loch Doon to the Rhinns of Kells. It's a lovely ridge. You've got the Corserine hill up there, Milye, Milye, Mill 4, Corserine. I can't remember the name of the others. And that's heading and looking over to the Merrick. So we're just talking to the ranger, really friendly chap. He gave us a leaflet of all the walks to do around Loch Doon. There's a few trails you can do, including this Craiglee one, and also a loop to actually Loch Finlas. And I was having a big chat with him about the fires that they had last week, saying the fire at Glentrail was started by a campfire. And luckily, he said it nearly reached all of Loch Doon, but the wind changed direction, stopped it from getting to Loch Doon. Put the fire out after about 4 days, and as we drove in, there was a bit of land scorched and burnt, and he was saying the farmer did that so he could get his sheep off the hillside onto that land by the loch, as he was worried that his sheep were going to burn. So So yeah, it was a pretty bad fire. But yeah, it was a really nice friendly chap. Been doing it for 30 years. Let's follow the Craiglee Trail, the blue signs. Heading up there. So this is one of the easy trails you can do in the Galloway Hills. As you've got a proper trail up to Wee Hill of Craigmulloch and through the forest back to the loch. The only section is up to Craiglee, but there is a path of sorts heading up to the top. There's no really hard ground really, as long as you stick to that. I did watch Wandering Ware's take on this hill, and he carried on to Craiglee and did a circular route that was on all trails, and oh boy, that ground was unbelievably tussocky and rough with big holes in it, and he finished the walk looking rather dishevelled. But we're just going to do a linear to Craiglee and back. You found your castle, Billy? So that's Craiglee in the distance there, but we're just in a slight detour as you get an amazing viewpoint of Loch Doon from here. Bear with, could be a tad blowy as well. Oh god, bit of pace here. Right, okay. All the way along Loch Doon from this point. How's that for a view? So I'm finally back here after 4 years. It was the first time that I came here, did this same trail, and I've wanted to come back ever since. Finally, I'm back here. We had a great camp last night, even though it rained all day yesterday and nearly all night. The tailgate on the back of the van is brilliant. It's like you can get right underneath it and it's like an awning. Kept us dry even though it was raining all night, so that was really cool, really good. So we might have changed our plans actually for where we're going to camp tonight. I was thinking about driving an hour, maybe 50 minutes from here to get to the Murray's Monument, but there's no guarantees we're going to be able to get parked up, because we spoke to the ranger and he reckons because the weather's improving tonight or today that it'll be a lot busier with people camping. So we've actually got a camp spot which I did show you on the way in. It's about 10 minutes from here, and we parked there and camped before. Only room for one vehicle, so we'll see if it's free. We'll go and check it out after this trail, but for now we're going to enjoy this view. I'm not going to stop talking.
Is that possible?
So we're now heading to the summit of the Wee Hill of Craigmulloch, just over there, and then Craiglee. There you are. The Wee Hill of Craigmulloch. And a bin. What is that? Is it a bin?
I don't really know.
But yeah, it's worth going to that little detour that we did so you can get more view of the loch.
Yeah, you get a better look.
Yeah. But we are going to head now to Craiglee. There's this is where I think the trail possibly ends, the official trail. We've just got to make our way as best we can, because I can't find a path at the moment up to the top of that, but you get a fantastic view, so I shall bring you back. A very narrow, grassy trod. It's very barren on these hills, isn't it? You've either got coniferous forest or barren, grassy hills, lots of heather. Okay. Not seem to dry today. See, that's the ground typical of Galloway Hills. See them tussocks? Treacherous walking. Deep holes between each really high tussock. So if you can find a path, I would stick to it. Luckily we are on a little trod. That was a rather wet crossing, but it would all be worth it when we get to the top of Craiglee with that view. Oh god, that was hard work getting up there.
So that's Loch Trail, is it?
Bloody Marilyn's. No.
No. No.
Oh god.
So that is the Merrick one with the big one.
Yeah. Then you've got the Dungeon Hills. So it could be around like the Loch Valley, possibly. Coming onto that, there used to be a forest road. Well, there is a forest road where you can park at the furthest parking spot at Loch Doon. And there's a forest road that used to be open in the summer season with beautiful lochs that you can picnic by, camp by, I think for a small fee, but they've actually closed that road now for the foreseeable future. Not sure if they're going to open it again, but it would have took you directly from Loch Doon. I'm trying to think where it would end up, around by where we were last night. But that is the summit over there of Craiglee, which we're going to head to. Yeah, this Loch Finlas is not to be confused with Glen Finlas or Glen Finlas, which is actually in the Trossachs National Park. There we are, the summit of Craiglee.
What's that loch?
Loch Braddon.
Braddon?
Loch Doon, the Rhinns of Kells, the Merrick, the Loch Valley, the Dungeon Hills, Loch Braddon. That's where we camped last night over there. And Loch Finlas. You can do a loop from Loch Doon to Loch Finlas and back through that forest. We just come down to the spot that we was at last time we were here, because we're out the wind, freezing wind today, with a fantastic view.
It's nice here.
Yeah, there's Loch Doon.
There's Andrew.
And Loch Finlas.
There's Andrew getting in the way again.
We were just having a look at the hills right in the far distance, and we reckon we must be looking over at the Firth of Clyde round there, and you're guessing that would be the Lomond Hills and the Loch Lomond and Trossachs Park. And then you're going along, and then you've got Arran, the Isle of Arran, just peeking out there. As you've obviously got the coast, as we're on the very, very west coast of Scotland. Or southwest coast would it be? Southwest coast of Scotland.
Southwest.
Southwest, yeah. Okay, I'm not filmed for a bit because we ended up getting some most awful ground possible, really rough, and I nearly lost my shoe down this massive big deep hole. But we found a track avoiding going back all the way back up to the wee hill of Craigmulloch, and I really hope this is the one that we had found last time. Heading, I'll pan you round, heading to the tops of that plantation there, back onto the trail. I just hope it's not too boggy. Yeah, this is definitely it. As you don't want to end up, we were in there a minute ago, you don't want to end up in there. You really don't. You're going to break an ankle. No, we didn't. We found this track, but it isn't a major problem. You just head back up onto the wee hill of Craigmulloch. Just a bit more of a steep ascent to go up and back on the trail. But it's actually, when you find the path, it's really nice. I mean, look at that ground, look at it. Do not go into ground like that.
Hey, we might be going into that,
the
yeah.
tussocks are literally knee high, I think.
Are you convinced we're not going into ground like that?
I'm positive. I think this is all right.
Yeah, I'm following you.
Yeah, you head to the end of this plantation and you will end back on the Craiglee Trail.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm positive. I tell you what, I really don't know if it's worth bothering doing Craiglee. For the actual fact of the horrendous ground you could actually get yourself into. Just stick to the main trail. Yeah, this is it, I think. Oh God, 5 mile route. God, I feel like I've done about 10. Ow. I remember this. Look at that view. Okay, we're back on the proper trail now. I could kiss this ground. We're back at this point and you can continue on the Castle Loop Trail.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I better do that.
That's what we're going to do then. You could alternatively just go back the same way. Just make it a linear walk. But it is a lovely path this way. Takes you right to the end as far as you can go on the road at Loch Doon. And you can park there. Ready? Come on. Come out to a lovely burn here. And a bridge. think you've got bluebells in this bit. A bit too early for them in here. They've just started to come out in places, but not here. So it's a lovely trail. Nearly back at the road. We'll show you the end parking. So here we are at the end. It's about as far as you can actually drive onto Loch Doon, or from Loch Doon, and that would be the forest road that you used to be able to take over to, I think, Loch Braddon or that way, but it's closed now. Carrick Forest Drive, that's what it's called, that's right. But yeah, that is closed now at the moment anyway. And there's a little bit, a nice bit just down there, which we're not going to go to because it's a bit out of the way. But you'd have a lovely view of the river. Was no overnight caravan parking, but now it's actually no overnight parking at this end. So I don't think you can camp overnight there, can you, in the car? So we're back on the road, about a mile from the car. So we're going to wrap this walk up, and the next bit of our adventure is hopefully finding that camp spot, just 5-10 minutes up from Loch Doon, amongst the pine forest. Yeah. Caravan.
Oh, that's a van next to it. Look, and it's the same as that, but it's got windows. That little one.
So we're actually back where we were last night at Tairlaw. And exactly the same spot. How cool is that? But strangely enough, since we've been gone, somebody's built a proper fire pit and actually had a fire like during the day, and they're not here now. So we've bagged the space now. We've bagged the space now, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we're right by the beck again. Lovely. Time to get some hot dogs now. We're going to hot dogs with onions. And I can't believe I didn't bring any ketchup. I just realised. No ketchup with hot dogs. Oh well.
Smells fucking good.
It's burning. Lovely.
You're not having any fiery meal?
So, as we've had to come back to Tairlaw, where we parked last night, we've completely changed what I said before. So we're going to do a walk, which is 5 minutes up the road, which is called the Cornish Loch. You park.
Cornish.
What, Cornish Loch? You park.
Cornish.
You park at Stinchar Bridge, and it's a lovely trail through the forest to a remote loch. A circular route of about 3.5 miles, which will be perfect actually, as we've got to go home tomorrow.
Have you been drinking?
I have, yeah. And then we can go back via Newton Stewart on that lovely forest road as well. So that's the plan for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we've just had our hot dogs and rolls and onions and a couple of gins. We're gonna have a coffee. We're gonna have a coffee and wine. We're gonna have a coffee.
Bill has had his biscuits and tuna fish.
Yeah, I think Billy's chilling out a little bit more now.
He's looking a little bit more relaxed.
Aren't you, Billy? Looking a bit more relaxed. So it's nice to be back here. And we were saying, I think the only reason that it doesn't get really busy here is that maybe because it's not in the actual main tourist bit of Loch Doon, and there's no mobile phone signal, which puts people off.
Doesn't put me off.
We're not bothered about that, not for a couple of nights anyway. There's literally 5 minutes down the road and you've got mobile phone signal. So there you go. And you've got Newton Stewart, which is the town where you can get food and supplies about half an hour up the road. So it's a good spot.
This needs to be one of them naturist kind of videos with no music, where you can hear the glug of the water going into the jug and that, and the birds and the waterfall and that.
Yeah.
No dramatic music or no techno music.
Oh, it's not on. It is.
One bag left for the pot. Because I'm not even going to try and get that black off the pot. You can't get it off.
This chocolate is so good, isn't it? Sea salt, dark chocolate. Lovely. Oh, I cooked the tinned breakfast. English breakfast.
Yeah.
And Scotch eggs.
Yeah.
I did try to be healthy and I bought some salad in that fridge.
There's some salad in there. Dear me.
I might go down that trail in a bit.
Which trail?
Up there.
It's dark. Go on then, I'll let you go. I'm stopping here.
So there's a little trail just from this parking area and the picnic area on a grassy path with a couple of benches. So we're just going to check it out, see what the views are like. That's it, bench there. Come on this way, Billy. Okay, so we're putting the screens on and I'm a little bit tipsy. Now, I have actually learnt a lesson from this morning.
What?
I've learnt a lesson from this morning, haven't I?
What?
That the suckers come off. The suckers?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? Suckers?
Yeah, they're little rubber things that stick on the window.
They come off.
Sucker.
So we're like a spaceship now, aren't we? We're like a spaceship now. I'll show you the back. They're really good, these blinds. They literally don't let any light in at all. Look at that. Wow, a spaceship. You alright, Billy? You enjoying yourself? No? So we're going to head to bed now. We've had another nice chilled out evening. Maybe watch a bit of Netflix on the tablet, get ourselves comfy, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Well, that was a different night's sleep last night. I think Billy kept huffing and puffing in the front of the car. So yeah, I woke up about 1 o'clock, 1:30. I had to get out, had a wee, and then couldn't get back to sleep for about an hour. And I think I just got back to sleep, and then Billy started making these retching noises. So back out again. But it seems alright this morning. So yeah, plan is we're going home later today. So we're going to do a quick walk 5 minutes from here at Loch Cornish from Stinchar Bridge. Once we've only packed up and got ourselves ready. So I'll catch you all in a bit. Oh, also, I'm going to include in this footage, we've got a little portaloo toilet. It's absolutely brilliant. We've got an awning where we've put our fridge and our food under the awning so it doesn't get wet, and to hide it as well from around other people so they can't see it. And put the little toilet in there, and yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I've just done a little video on that. It's even got a little lever that comes out and you can hang your toilet roll on it. Brilliant little contraption. Comes with normal bags that you put in, and you just kind of do your business in that and then tie it up and dispose of it. And you also got some emergency urinal bags where you can actually stand up, like men can stand up and go for a wee, and also a she-wee. Not sure if I'm ever going to be that desperate enough to use a she-wee. There's so many birds around here this morning, all singing away. That's really nice. So pleased we managed to get this spot again. So last night was much easier to set up, as I think the first night we were just kind of like getting used to the van, where things were, where things can go, how to set the awning up, and how to put the bed together. So it took ages to set the van up the first night, but last night it was just really easy. And I think the answer is for each person to have their job and to stick to that job. So like if you're using, like, so one person does the cooking, and then you know where all the utensils are, where they've been put, the water, the kettle, the stove, things like that. And the other person sets like the awning up, the bed, and then the blinds and things like that. Because if two people get involved with putting things away, then it gets frustrating because the other person doesn't know where things are. And also at night, you don't have to put everything away. Just like leave your cups out in the morning and your kettle out in the morning and your spoon and your, you know, the stove. So it's all ready just to make yourself a coffee. Also we've learnt in the fridge, because the fridge plugs into, it's not a fridge, it's like a cool box. So we put loads of ice blocks when we left in the cool box, and you can plug it in to the car and it uses the fan. It just keeps things cooler. Obviously it's not a fridge, so it doesn't stay cold. But we've also learnt that if you buy anything that's got a bit of garlic in it, and then once you obviously put the fridge back in the car and drive off and the fan's going, you're going to get an aroma of garlic in the car. So maybe don't put garlic things in the fridge. But yeah, it's been a good couple of nights. Good to test the car out. Billy's not the best dog in the world for camping, but he definitely was a lot easier last night, getting more used to his surroundings. It was a bit of a stress edge the first night. Just wanted to stay in the car the whole time, so that made it awkward, you know, with space. Trying to get our gear sorted with Billy stuck in the front of the car. But last night he actually was okay, like tied up to a tree. And he just laid there and just behaved himself. Whereas the first night he just kept barking and barking to go back in the van. And now he's just chilled in the front. He's not asked to go out. He's quite a lazy dog sometimes. So we've got ourselves a little portal.
Just clicks together like that, look.
Comes with the bag.
You put your bag in. There like that. Lid clips on like that.
Toilet seat.
In a minute. Yeah. There you go.
Ready to go.
Takes 300 pound of weight apparently. So even a great big jumbo person could get on there.
And that's the toilet.
There's the toilet look. I've got my shovel over there. I prefer
and
the
it's going
primitive.
in nature. I'm going under there. What a brilliant little contraption. This is the other end of the Carrick Forest Drive. Yesterday he was at the side up by Loch Doon. This is the end by Stinchar Falls. So we're now parked up at Stinchar Falls to do the Cornish Loch, which is about a 3.5 mile trail, just 5 minutes from where we camped at Tairlaw.
Yeah, nice.
And it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Best day so far of the weekend. I say I'm going home. Well, we are going home, and I'm today, and I'm at work tomorrow. So it's just a quick one. But it's a beautiful trail, so I thought I'd show you how nice it is. There's been a number of trees come down on this trail since we were last here. The size of that blue ball there. Okay, can I get under that? And it's really boggy. Limbo.
Stinchar Bridge.
Well done, Billy. Oh. Duck. Oh God, we've got a really duck here. Or do we clamber over it? Might have to clamber over. I think they've decided to make this a bit of an assault course, haven't they, this trail? They've obviously been and cut some of them and then left others. Just looking at what this little cairn thing is. Craiglee Lodge. Catherine Lawson was born here 11th of November 1914. Not quite sure who she is.
It's on the map, yeah, it is. This cairn.
Yeah. Nice spot by the beck, by the burn, so I keep calling it a beck. By the burn.
Look like Straiton.
So we've left the forest for a bit now, as we're going to head up onto, not quite onto Cornish Hill summit, and then you'll look down over Cornish Loch, nestled amongst heather-clad mountains. There you go. So I meant to say at the start that you can actually camp at the Stinchar Bridge car park. There's some little bays you can get into, and it is on park for a nice, really lovely spot. And it's Easter Sunday today, and there's about, well, there was 2 people camping and then about 3 other cars parked up, and it is quite a biggish car park. I can't believe how quiet it is around here. Just a random cairn on a boulder.
Yeah.
What a view already over at Ayrshire. Wow, for such a short trail and an easy trail, you get some stunning views, and it's so quiet. Oh, you can see over to the Highlands. Guessing it'll be the Southwest Highlands. You don't want to go off the trail, you really don't. Cornish Hill is somewhere over there. There we are, Cornish Loch. What a wee gem. Fantastic viewpoint. You can see right over to the Forest Drive, where you got Loch Braddon. You've got Cornish Loch, which we're going to head down to in a bit. Rhinns of Kells, Range of the Awful Hand, and we're thinking that is Cornish Hill Summit, which Andy wants to go to.
Definitely is.
And the Galloway Forest. So Andy's going to go off piste through the tussocks, the bog, the holes in the ground, hidden rocks, to bag that pointless hill, 467 metres, apparently not even a classified hill, but he wants to do it, so I'm going to head down to the loch and meet him there, as I've got sense. Yes, Billy, if I was you, I'd come back. I've just realised that the beautiful trail through the beautiful coniferous forest as you head away from Cornish Loch has all been cut down. That's a shame. It was such a beautiful trail. I wonder if it's because there was like a lot of that storm damage, whether it was all flattened in that part. A beautiful, peaceful spot. Just love it here. And it's one of the easiest walks you can do around the Galloway area. Oh my god, we've got millions of midges. Love it here. Isn't this stunning? So peaceful. So we're leaving the loch now. I'm just going to follow along the burn on a circular trail back through the forest. We're going to cross over that bridge, and unfortunately it used to be such a beautiful trail through the trees from then on. Now it's just all been cut down. God, I hate it when a forest has been cut down, I really do. When you've been before, you know how nice it was. It's so desolate. All of it's gone. That's the problem with coniferous forests. They're all working forests, aren't they? And eventually, when the trees reach maturity, which is 25 to 50 years, they get cut down. And it's this kind of time now where a lot of the forests are mature woodland. So you're experiencing more and more and more woodland being cut down. And it's a shame because you know that you're never going to see it back to how it was in your own lifetime, because they'll take 25 to 30 years to mature, and then I'll be in my 80s. Is that side still okay? It is lovely by this bed. If you don't look right, just look left. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I've been whinging a little bit about this.
The bomb site?
The bomb site, yeah. I mean, this is lovely, this beck. Imagine it, right, with all that beck and all these beautiful trees up the side as well, like it is on that side. It was like just being in the Swiss wilderness. It really was lovely. I just wish they could have kept some of the trees along the trail and then just cut behind those trees. You know, kept the trail nice. This is right, if he was walking on the path and he stepped off about half an inch, I think he'd disappear. We're back on the Carrick Forest Road, which is closed right now. But we're going to walk along it back to Stinchar Bridge.
You don't fall over.
So nearly back at the car, so we're going to say goodbye, aren't we?
Goodbye.
And I hope you've enjoyed our wee little Scottish adventure this bank holiday weekend. It's been a fantastic place, some really nice camp spots, and we've tested out the Berlingo van and it's spot on. What do you think of your van?
Fabulous, loved it.
Yep. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this wee adventure, slightly different, including the camping, but we want to get out a bit more, don't we, and do that.
We do.
So it's bye from me and
bye from me
and the rock star Billy Bob. We just stopped up at Newton Stewart to get some fish and chips.
And across the bushy trees.
We've got about a 3-hour journey now, and we like Newton Stewart. We've stayed in Newton Stewart a couple of times, and it's really nice sitting by the riverbank having your fish and chips. So this is the end of our holiday. So I say bye for now.